A dashcam video shared online documented a deeply unsettling incident that took place on July 23, 2023, in Oakland, California. The footage shows a woman driving along Skyline Boulevard late at night, following a white Dodge Charger on an otherwise empty stretch of road. The video quality is noticeably poor, likely due to the limitations of the dashcam or compression during transfer. But the events are still clear enough to follow. Aside from the two vehicles, no other cars are visible in the area, adding to the isolated feeling of the scene. Without warning, the Dodge Charger abruptly slows down and comes to a stop at an angle across the road, effectively blocking the woman's path.
Come on now, quit around. No! Ah!
The sudden maneuver immediately signals that something is wrong. As the car remains stopped in front of her, the sense of danger becomes unavoidable. Moments later, two men exit the Dodge and rush toward the woman's vehicle. One of them moves directly to her window and begins forcefully striking it, attempting to make her leave the car. The situation escalates quickly, leaving no time to think or react calmly. Despite the shock and fear, the woman manages to accelerate and escape the scene. She is not pursued and eventually makes it home safely. The entire encounter lasts only moments, but the threat is unmistakable. In a later interview, the driver explained that she had traveled that same route for nearly 4 decades and had never experienced anything like this before. Law enforcement believes the two men may be connected to other similar incidents in the East Oakland Hills area. Though no arrests have been made so far, the investigation remains ongoing. Looking back, it is clear that leaving immediately likely saved her from something far worse. Had she hesitated or stepped out of the car, the outcome could have been far more serious. What those men truly intended that night remains unknown, but the footage serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly an ordinary drive can turn into something far more dangerous. A story shared online in April of 2020 described a disturbing experience that took place deep in the forests near Sun River, Oregon. The account came from a young man named Noah, who had decided to spend a night truck camping alone. After driving along a remote road, he found what seemed like a quiet, hidden spot and took his truck farther into the forest, far from any visible traffic or nearby campsites. With no one else around, he settled in for the night inside his vehicle. Sometime after falling asleep, he was jolted awake by sounds coming from outside the truck. As he listened more closely, the noise began to form a clear pattern. The slow, steady rhythm suggested footsteps moving around the vehicle, not animals passing through, but someone walking nearby. The realization set in that another person was out there with him in the darkness. Concerned and unable to see anything beyond the truck, Noah reached for his GoPro and began recording from inside.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is. And there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little freaked out right now. And it's like pitch black outside. And like, this doesn't make any sense because I parked somewhere where you couldn't see. No one was on that road. Wait, he's touching my truck. How am I supposed to get him away? He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The back door's locked. I can never been scared before ever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here.
footsteps continued for an extended period, circling the truck again and again. The forest outside was completely dark, and the isolation made the situation even more unsettling. After several minutes, the person outside began interacting with the truck. The vehicle was touched from different sides, followed by knocking sounds along the rear and canopy. Door handles were pulled as if someone was testing them, and at one point the figure appeared to peer inside, trying to see whether anyone was there. Throughout the entire encounter, Noah remained inside, unable to do anything but listen, protected only by the locked doors. Eventually, after what felt like a long stretch of time, the footsteps moved away and faded into the forest. Noah waited until daylight before leaving the area. Once it was safe to see clearly, he drove back to the main road and headed home. Later that morning, he examined the outside of his truck and found physical evidence of what had happened. Handprints were visible across the trunk and rear window, as if someone had pressed up against the glass to look inside. There were also marks around the door handles, consistent with someone attempting to open them.
Handprints there, a lot of scratches, stuff like that. Dragging his finger on my side of my truck. Looks like to be trying to get inside my truck. That's really all I could tell from when he was walking around. More handprints trying to get in my truck. At least the back canopy was locked, but yeah, that was the result. So
what made the situation even stranger was the lack of any explanation. No one had identified themselves, no flashlight or light source was ever seen, and the location was too remote for a casual passerby. No update was ever shared afterward, leaving the identity of the person in the forest unknown. To this day, it remains unclear who or what was walking around that truck in the middle of the night, and what might have happened if the doors had not been locked. A dashcam clip once shared online caught attention because of how unsettling it feels, even though nothing supernatural is ever clearly shown. The footage was recorded in the early morning hours of May 2, 2013 in Browns Plains, Australia. At the start, it looks completely ordinary. A white car moves calmly through several roundabouts and then continues along a quiet, straight road. There is no traffic, no noise, and no sign that anything unusual is about to happen. Roughly 10 seconds into the recording, the situation changes abruptly. As the car continues forward, a woman suddenly appears in the road at the exact moment the vehicle passes. Her movement is abrupt and deliberate, placing her directly in the car's path in a way that looks intentional rather than accidental. Almost immediately after this, a man runs toward the scene from the roadside, heading in the direction of the vehicle and the woman. Instead of slowing down or stopping, the driver accelerates and leaves the area as quickly as possible. From the footage alone, the scene already feels wrong, as the timing and behavior do not match a typical accident. Later that same morning, the driver reported the incident to police and provided additional details not visible on the dashcam. According to the report, as the man rushed toward the woman, several other men emerged from the darkness behind the car and began running toward it. Realizing the danger, the driver chose to escape immediately rather than risk being surrounded. At first, the driver suspected the event might have been a staged accident meant to trick someone into stopping, possibly for financial gain. However, the presence of multiple people hiding nearby suggested something far more threatening, such as a planned ambush targeting passing drivers. Police in Browns Plains opened an investigation after receiving the report, but none of the individuals involved were ever identified or located. No further incidents tied to the case were officially confirmed. To this day, it remains unclear what would have happened if the driver had stopped or stepped out of the car. Whether it was a failed crime, a coordinated trap, or something even darker hiding in the shadows, the footage leaves behind an uneasy question. What was truly waiting on that empty road that night? If you want to hear more stories like this, then please subscribe to your channel.